you'll know from how he persevered that you can get out and really not place any ceilings on yourself. Like there doesn't have to be any limits. It doesn't have to be you gotta follow this one path in order to gain or attain success. You can do what you want to do in order to get there.
Did you ever think you were coming home?
No, I ain't never think I was coming home. I got sentenced to 40 years. I did the math on that, and I was like, I fuck around dying this motherfucker. Plus, I was in there, doing me, hustling, going to war, whatever. So I was like, I probably die here before I get to 20 years in for real. So I ain't never think I was going home.
Tell me how you felt when you first got locked up.
How I felt when I first got locked up, probably emotionless. I was young, so I wasn't even able to, understand how I felt, if I did feel anything, but I was just mentally ready for war. Just given what I know about prison and what I seen about prison, what I heard about prison, I just was like, I was ready. And that was it, my mind was straight. Ain't let nobody do nothing to me, ain't let nobody take nothing from me. It is what it is.
When did you first meet E-Class?
I first met E-Class, I can't even recall when I first met E-Class because we were so young. But I remember him being in the halls in high school every single time. It's a funny story, but I don't think I have time to tell the story. But I remember one time he was getting in a fight and I jumped in the way because I did not want nobody to hit my brother. And literally, he still talk about that to this day, like how I jumped in the fight because I was ready. I was ready to take up for him. He just has such a genuine personality and such a big heart.
I met Elmo in about 2000, about 2000, in middle school, Drew Freeman.
I think it was like 2009 in the old jail. That's the first time I met E-Class, or Elmo.
It's been like 3 years. I met him in person. We was contacting actually online. We used to kick it online maybe like 4 years. Like when he first came, we came home at the same time. So around like 4 years we've been communicating. 3 years ago I actually met him in person.
I first met E-Class. I was probably like 16. We was down Patuxent. We was in prison. So I first met him. He was rapping in the jail, making a lot of noise, and I liked him, so I started fucking with him.
First met E-Class in prison. We linked up, I think through a mutual friend, but he showed me like his pictures and he had a picture of my aunt in there. And I'm like, how you know my aunt? Cause it was just him and her, but the whole time his brother married my aunt, so we got real tight after that.
At a Coast to Coast audition showcase at Bar None on U Street. Him and his brother Dutch. He was involved in that competition. I think he was pretty much fresh out from doing his bid, maybe 10 days, and that was the name of his mixtape that he was performing at that time.
What do you feel was the hardest part about being in jail?
The hardest part about being in jail for me was just the separation from the people I love, separation from my friends, from females, family, just from the street, my neighborhood, like going from being outside every day to just being locked in this little ass ice box and shit. And, that separation, that shit meant a lot.
What do you think is the most inspiring thing about him and his journey thus far?
One of the things that E-Class stands for is making sure you write the vision and make it plain. While E-Class was in jail, I had the opportunity to write back and forth with him, and he used to continuously tell me his dreams. He told me he was going to be a top rapper in DC. He told me he was going to start a record label. He told me he was going to do all of these things with the youth. And for him to come out and we actually get to see him excel, people don't know that it started in a dark place for him. And right now, we get to see the manifestation of everything that he wrote down on paper while he was in jail.
So for me, I would say when I stayed in touch with him while he was locked up. So when I heard he was rapping, I didn't think much of it. I just was like, you know, he just found something to waste time. I didn't know how serious he was gonna be. And when he came home, I actually threw him his first party. Like it was he released his tape, and I threw him a party. So as the time goes on, the thing that was most inspiring about him to me is that he didn't just do it for a little while, a couple months. It wasn't for fun. It was how much he really put into it. Like, that shit was inspiring to me. He really learned everything about the music business, the marketing he learned to do for himself. He done told me so much about how he make money from different, all that, just the time, effort, and, you know, passion he put into it. That shit is inspiring.
Just where he came from and where he at now. And spending those years with him behind the wall, just learning who he is and his passion and his dream, putting it together. And now he's doing it on the streets. So everybody loves it.
It's relatable, like for anybody that's in my position that's did an extensive amount of time and had to get back in order to get out. It's like you'll know from how you persevered that you can get out and really not place any ceilings on yourself. But there doesn't have to be any limits. It doesn't have to be you gotta follow this one path in order to gain or attain success. You can do what you wanna do in order to get there. Everybody ain't gonna get there the same way. So for him, it's like just watching him grind, it always keep me on my shit. Like, alright, if he doing this, I gotta make sure I'm staying tight. I'm keeping it moving. I'm keeping visuals out. I just like what he do, man. I really respect it. Anybody that's from this, if you from this walk of life, you gotta respect it. You gotta salute it.
The most inspiring thing about E and his journey is when we met, I saw his grind, I saw his hustle, I saw if it wasn't about work or hosting, he wasn't just coming out. Like, yo, I got studio time. You know, I might hit him, he's like, man, I'm just leaving the studio at 7 a.m. So I see that, because I be around a lot of like rappers, and I see like some people take it as they just gotta show up and they don't know about the leg work. And I like his leg work. And I like the way he touch lives, the way when he around other people, everybody attract to him. Like I put E on the ticket. He one of the few that I could guarantee 30, 40 people gonna come fuck with him. That's love, and that shows his character, and that's what really inspired me, you know. And it was never about how much money or nothing he had or nothing like that. It was never about that. I don't deal with people, and I deal with people how, you know, that their character, how they are, their morals, their values, their principles, and that's what that made me fuck with them, you know, on the strength of that.
I think the most inspiring thing for me about E is basically just how he came home and just got to it. He ain't make no excuses. Like, a lot of niggas make excuses. A lot of niggas feel like it ain't no jobs out here for like convicted convicts. So when he came home, just getting straight to it, doing what he said he was going to do for like, we was locked up 10 years together. And every day he talked about coming home and doing what he doing now. So that's the most inspiring thing about E for me.
Most inspiring thing about his journey as far as he ain't quit and he showed a lot of elevation in a little bit of time. He been out here. I respect him.
I think E-Class's most inspiring thing in his journey is his work ethic. I think his work ethic is unmatched. And his creativity, I think, is just off the meters. That's what I think is the best about him.
What was the biggest adjustment you had to make once you got home?
The biggest adjustment I had to make when I got home was just understanding that certain antics that people do, whether it's friends, family, or outsiders, entertainment industry, is like, I had to understand shit wasn't a threat. Like, in prison, if somebody say certain things, is war after that. Out here, people just be saying shit, just be saying it. So I had to adjust to be able to deal with things accordingly and not just take everything as a threat.
What do you think E symbolizes in the music industry, coming from where he comes from?
For me, E-Class symbolizes hope for the younger generation, just being able to come home and inspire people and show people that they have options. They don't have to go back to what they know.
He symbolizes a lot. I come tell him that all the time. You know, what he's doing and the impact he got on his peers and surroundings. That's great with the kids in the elementary schools and up. So he's starting off young and just showing them a way that they need to see.
The grind. not having to conform. Once again, I hate to stress that, but not having to do and sound like everybody else in order to make an indelible mark. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for dudes that don't want to do what everybody else is doing in order to get on or get a little bit of shine, the consistency that he's displayed since he's been home is like, that's the benchmark. That's what you strive for.
I think he symbolizes what people feel in their soul. I think he symbolizes what's real. It's hard to find that these days. When you hear music, you hear a rapper, like he speak from like real life experiences. There's things you can gravitate to. Hope.
He symbolizes hope, you know, and he's like a good role model for young guys and dudes that, you know, came home and, you know, showed that show him guy go back in, keep doing the same thing over and over again.
That's a difficult question. I think he is just everything. It's just a lot. It's determination. It's preparation meets opportunity meets success. It's just, he is just a person that whatever he dreams, I believe that he can accomplish. And I think that that's one of the things that he will bring to the industry.
When you first came home and you saw your rap career starting to take off, how did it feel?
It was crazy for a minute, for real, because everything that I planned, I thought it was going to take some years to do, and everything I planned happened in 6 months, so it was like, oh shit, I got to get back to the drawing boards and put some shit together. So once I seen it really making sense, people recite my lyrics, people telling me I'm their inspiration, I just was, I don't know, I was stuck. The only thing that really affected me was when people started approaching me asking for pictures. Like the first time somebody approached me, I was buying some shoes, and they was like, oh shit. I didn't know, I thought they was, go back to that threat shit. I'm thinking they coming at me trying to rob me or something, but the whole time they just wanted some pictures, so just something a nigga had to get used to. It was just, it's still at all. Every level I hit, everybody knew that I meet that somebody to who I looked up to when I was younger. All that shit is big. Everything's big to me. Because I don't even supposed to be out here, so all that shit's big.
If you could give him one piece of advice moving forward, what would it be?
If I can give E-Class one piece of advice, I would say sometimes your day ones ain't your day ones. And I say that because he has such a huge heart and he allows so many people in. And I know as he progresses and as he levels up, it's going to be elevation requires separation. So sometimes he may feel bad because of the elevation, which includes separation, but at the end of the day, it's only going to make him better. And the only way you can go and be better is sometimes you got to leave some people behind. And when you get there, you can go back and help them if they really want it.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're making everybody proud, man. Everybody.
Stay free, huh? Keep sucking back.
Put all your money, or most of your money, into yourself. In the beginning, I had a conversation with him one time at a pool party about, he had, I don't know, $500-600 worth of fives. He threw it all in the pool. I said, no, that right there could have paid for a studio session, and he took that at ease. I told him, like, sometimes I know you want to go out and enjoy the finer things in life, but some of that money you could take and put into yourself, because in this profession, you're going to need it.
I would just say watch the people around you, but I think he picked a lot of good men though. So, but if I had to give him some advice, that would be it. I'd just go for anybody else.
If I would give him one piece of advice, I'd just tell him to stay solid.
The advice that I would give E-Class is just to keep on working, to just always get better, and just don't think that you're successful. I would just grind it out. Like, even if you are successful, crazy, I would just act like you just got home and just keep on doing it the way you've been doing it. And I think that with that attitude, I think that his career will just have longevity.
Did you imagine that you would accomplish all you have in such a short amount of time?
I had a feeling I would. I had a feeling I would accomplish a lot fast given in my story. Because the average person not having 13 years of prison under their belt and they only 28. So I had a feeling that it was going to catch on.
Why do you think people are inspired by you?
I think people are inspired by me just by drive and determination. Mainly because, like, they probably look at their situation like, I'm trying to start this business. I've been out here for X amount of years. I know I could do it. If he could come home after 13 years being locked up when he was a child and the whole world different, why can't I get started? Like, why not me type shit? So I think they're inspired by just the story itself, and then on top of the story, I made something of it. So I think just give them inspiration for real to keep pushing forward, letting them know, like, the hardest part of your life, not the hardest part of your life type shit.
What's your biggest motivation?
My biggest motivation right now is my son, but he only a year old, so take away a year. My biggest motivation probably always still will be Pac. Pac always been my biggest motivation to, like, push the limits and push the envelope on things. Cause it's like, before the Resurrection came out, that Tupac documentary that was in the movies, we didn't really know a lot about him. I didn't know he joked and laughed and was a big prankster and shit. So it brought a human aspect to him. So everything that I learned from him through his music and through his antics and shit, it just always pushed me to be great. Cause he was 25, the speeches and shit he was giving, shit was amazing.
If your mother was here, how do you think she would feel about everything you've done?
She'd be happy as shit. She'd probably be my biggest fan, because even when I was sending music home from prison, she had shit as a ringtone. I know she'd probably be laughing at certain shit, like wearing 1,000 chains, skinny jeans and shit. But she'd be rocking with me every show. My mother was with the shit. She know what I'm rapping is true, so she'd be front row in the center talking that shit.
What does freedom mean to you?
Freedom to me is love, is happiness. Like, it's just finding a balance in between all the bullshit of the world and finding some love and some happiness. Once you find that balance, I believe you're free.
What are your plans for the future?
Be great. Just be great. Every day be great. And if I look at every day, try to be great, then I'm going to be greater than I was yesterday. So I really don't even want to define plans for the future. I don't want to put no limits on it. It's just about being great.
If you could give one piece of advice to young people looking up to you, what would it be?
Just don't give up. Like, at the end of the day, everybody that's in the position that they're in, Nip said it, the only difference is they ain't give up. Like, it's always work. It's always going to be work. It's always going to be hard. It's always going to be on the grind. But as long as you don't give up, it's not a failure. Because as long as you still trying, like, even if you don't make it to where people perceive success is, but as long as you still trying, you still in it. You still in a race. So just don't give up.
My favorite memory? I would say I got the memory that stands out the most when I think of him is when we were younger. I was known for fighting, and I took pride in that. Elmo and James, they was wild, so they decided they was gonna jump a senior, and I was a 9th grader. They were 8th graders. So Elmo decided they gonna jump a senior. And I don't know what's going on, but when I come over there, I see it's a big crowd of people at the school. I walk over there, and Elmo and James on one side, there's all these people on the other side, and the biggest dude out there is trying to fight James and Elmo. Bigger than me, strong and all that. He's a senior. So he won't chill. I'm telling him, man, you too big, you can't fight them, man. But Elmo won't shut up. Whenever he tell the story, he act like he didn't want to fight. He wouldn't shut up. So the dude keep getting madder and madder. He was even bigger than me, but I couldn't let my little youngest fight him, so I was like, you know what? I run you. But nobody warned me that he was a Golden Glove boxer. So I jump out there for them into a fight with a Golden Glove boxer, way stronger than me and older. I think I still got a bad tooth back there somewhere from when he hit me, but I won the fight. I got locked up. You know, that's the biggest memory I got. I always think of that when I see him. I got locked up, my tooth messed up forever, but I ain't let nobody do nothing to my man, so.
I met E when he was like 11 or 12. So my baby mother kept saying, my cousin, he know how to rap, So I was like, all right, bring him on over here. So she bring him over there. I'm in the studio, doing my thing, getting high. So he come and he was like, man, I want to rap. So I said, go in the booth. So we go to the booth, he started, killing and all this crazy shit. I was like, man, don't nobody want to hear that shit, man. I'm like, man, come back when you're ready, man. But at the end of the day, man, you one of the hardest working dudes I know, Sim. I always tell you that since you've been home. And I want to say happy anniversary, champ.
What's up, bro? I just wanted to say, man, I'm proud of you. You came home, you did what you had to do, you did what you said you was gonna do. All of those lonely nights, we on the phone talking about what we gonna do. Happy anniversary, man.
Hey, bro. Happy anniversary. Stay out this year. We out here.
DJ Fury Styles, happy anniversary. 4.
My name is Jennifer Fatima, aka Ice. Happy anniversary, my Moel.
Happy anniversary. You owe me $5.
My name DP and happy anniversary, E.
Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary, pimp.
My name is M. Cuz. How about the van? Happy anniversary, E-Class.
Happy anniversary, E!
My name is Devin Tyler. Everybody call me DT. Happy anniversary.
My name is Prime. Happy anniversary to my man. It's been a great 4 years. We had long, deep conversations. Man, every time he hit me, we always vibing. Anytime I need him, put him on a ticket. If I need a mom to come out, he always, he never fails me. I always say what you need. He always tell me don't worry about nothing. So that I really appreciate that. Really appreciate the friendship we have. And I wish you nothing but the best, big boy.
Matula, man, happy anniversary, my nigga. Love you.